Here we go again, another broken hammer. Hey, like this video if you're interested in custom CNC parts for our Crosman DPMS SBR, R1, MPW, and maybe a couple other series. Here we have a hammer from a 1322 or 1377 pump. And you can see here it's made out of steel, one solid piece. That's what they should have done to this hammer here. This part here is another weak link. So the weakest links in our Crosman is the hammer and this piston valve right here. Now I've done a lot of testing on these hammers and I've read all your comments and emails, and I think the best way to fix these hammers is to drill them out in the center, tap them, and then use a threaded bolt. This rod here on this one, and I use this rod on this one. Now in this video I'm going to drill this one and tap it, and then I'm going to finish it up with this one here. But this rod here is special because I'm working on something, and I'll show you that later in the video. And I'll also talk about some CNC parts for our Crosmans later in the video as well. Now this mod here is not that difficult. I'll show you how I did it in this video. But really all we're going to be doing is drilling this hole out to about the same diameter as this here. You'll notice this one's a little bit, this one's bigger. I think this is a 3/8 rod. I really don't remember what size this rod is, but what I went ahead and did was I just flattened the one end, and then I went and sliced it down the center so I can put a screwdriver into it like this. So what I do is I just screw it in like that. Then I just come in from the back side here and go in reverse, and you can see it's threading its way in. Now there's another way we can do this. You take the grub screw here, we put it in with the Allen key side, just like I did with the slotted side here. And I just take my Allen key and you can put it in just like this. Now, I started with this grub screw mod, but you know what? It wasn't long enough like this one here. You need this length here because this metal is too soft. So after a few rounds, this became loose and started to vibrate loose again. So I thought, what am I going to do to make this even better? Well, how about screw it right down like this. I've got the grub screw in as deep as I can. Now I can't tighten it because I've got my grub screw in there, but basically what you can do now is put this piece in, and now it's right up against that grub screw back here. So I can always retighten back here, put my roll pins back in, or a grub screw in here like I've done to this one. This one here I put a grub screw and it works really good. This part here actually with this grub screw in the back and this in like this, it actually works really, really well. So all I'd have to do now is just cut it down so it just sticks out a little bit like this. Now this one's sticking out a bit because it's broken. But basically, you're only going to be sticking out about 1 millimeter, and that's all that's needed. So I can cut this piece down. If yours broke and you want to get yours back up and running real quick, this mod here seems to be the best mod for the stock hammers, and it'll get you back up and running. Now this one here, you'll notice, has got a bunch of holes in it. And that's because I was testing out to see what would happen if we reduce the weight on the hammer. This hammer broke during testing. And I was using full auto. The Crosman that I was using was bone stock, other than just the 3 simple mods. And that's just with a stock barrel and C-clips, rubber grommet mod, and the spring mod. And the hammer broke in full auto on this one here. So this hammer here, you can see it's all drilled out because what I did was I removed 10% off this hammer. These hammers basically weigh about 1,060, 1,058 grains. So I thought, what would happen if we reduced 10% off the stock hammer? Would it make a difference? Would it oscillate back and forth faster? It would be good to know when I get the CNC parts made, if we need to reduce the weight, or it doesn't matter. So stay tuned for that video. But in this video, let's get into modding the hammers. It's not perfectly center, but we're tapped. I think we're good to go. Put this in place. I'll show you one last thing I like to do to the hammer after I'm done. Perfect. Now, after lots of use, because this is not one solid piece, more than likely it's going to do the same thing. It's going to vibrate. It's going to come loose a little bit. So the best thing to do when you get to this point is add some JB weld, screw it back into place, and I think that will lock it really tight inside here. And I think this has actually become one of my favorites. I want to show you one last thing I do to the hammer, and that is I take it and I just cut it back a little bit here. That way it slides in and out much better. Now I want to show you what I'm working on here. So the plan is to eliminate this piston valve and go with just a hammer that's going to hammer straight through like this. So basically I'm going to be making my own piston, one solid piece hammer here, and it's going to slide in here like this. Now I tested it already and it worked. It actually blew back, but it didn't blow back enough, so it just ended up going back and forth and wasting the CO2. But it worked. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about custom CNC parts. Quite some time ago, I sent out some parts, my first hammer mod, and a couple other valves, and this as well, to get custom CNC machined. Now, I sent it out, thought it was being looked at and being worked on, and it wasn't. So that was very, very disappointing. I thought I'd give it a bit more time. They didn't even look at it. It didn't get done. So I found another CNC shop, but it's out of province. So it's more expensive because I have to pay for shipping back and forth now. But the machine shop I reached out to can do the work. It's going to be very costly, but I'm willing to do that. So share, like, and subscribe, because you subscribing helps my channel. I think the best thing to do for CNC parts first is to get the parts that are going to make the Crosman series reliable. I know some of you haven't blown any of these parts, but I promise you, give it time, they will fail. And then it'll be out of warranty, and then you've got nothing. And that's actually why I make these videos, is because mine have broken. Now, I've intentionally broken some so that way I can learn as well from it. But now I'm at the point where I'm actually running out of parts, and I'd rather have parts that aren't going to continuously fail. Like, just for example, this one here, look at the walls here. They are super thin, and this is a very, very weak metal. So it's only a matter of time before they break. This is my second one that is broken, not putting it under that much stress, but under normal operation, this will fail and the hammer will fail. Now, these hammers work great. I think CNC Parts is the way to go for this, to make these better, make them reliable, and make them better than stock. I hope you liked that mod and video. Share, like, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Oh, one final thing I just want to say. I've got a really cool rock video that I'm working on. It's called No One Ever Got Sick from Smoking Tires. I'm calling on all you car guys to check out this video. I think you're going to really like it. I'll be posting that very soon. So again, share, like, and subscribe. Thanks for watching my videos. See you next time.